Hey, what's up? What's up? What's up? Hello, Philly, Delaware, New Jersey, Egypt, Finland, Iceland, Hawaii.
Nolans.
Yes. You all know? Thank you guys again for tuning in to the Real Recognize Real Talk radio show. I am your girl, Franchella, and to my left we got
Lynette.
yes, the best co-host anybody could ever have. You hear what I'm saying? But once again, we want to thank you guys for tuning in. We hope you have had a blessed week. A happy
4th of
July. I'm sure everybody had some things they was doing and getting that barbecue in. You know, I mean,
I
at the
ate
time,
like a pig.
did you?
Yes,
Well, yeah, I
did.
saw your post. Yeah. You was with the family. You was like, you know, you can see they can cook. You know, so I was like, I know she gonna get it in.
Shout out to my family.
That's right. Always shout out to the family. But, you know, we got an awesome show lined up for you guys again. You know, we're going to get into our hood news first, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So let's talk about this Disney fight that went on, that's going on in social media. So it seems like there was a gentleman who got into a physical altercation with a lady. And there was a lot of people around that were spectating, but nobody was really kind of jumping in and trying to break it up. So tell us a little bit about it.
So, first of all, Disney World is supposed to be the happiest place, right?
Right.
Well, not that day, it wasn't. And, you know, it was very disturbing to see them fighting and children watching. So I watched the video, and there was no sound to it, so I don't really know what transpired. And, of course, they talking about banning them for life, which they should. So it was at Disneyland. So let me get, Disneyland is in L.A., it's in California. Disney World is in Orlando. So it was in Disneyland, and the way, your mic on?
I don't think yours is on either because I don't see the volume going up.
My
at
mic's
all.
not on? Hello? Hello? It sound like it. I see it at the
it's
bottom.
At the bottom.
You see
Okay,
it?
my bad. I was looking at the top.
Okay.
I apologize.
She's looking at the
This
top
is live.
instead
This
of-
is
okay.
live.
That's right. I mean, hey, mistakes happen when we live too. So, you know, we can keep it pushing.
Yeah,
We
keep it
only
real.
human, right? So, as I watched the video, one of the young ladies, it looks like her and the guy was arguing, and then she spit in his face. Now, and of course, that's the worst thing you can do to anybody, you know, is spit in their face. So she spit in his face, and he reacted, which I would have hoped that he waited, but he reacted, of course. Female or not, he put his hands on her. And then the dude started to come around, and they were throwing punches, but don't look like it landed anywhere. I don't know what they was doing. So at first I thought it was like a joke because it just looked like they weren't really fighting. And so they stopped, and then it was I'm assuming a woman. She was in one of the walkers, and she tries to get up because she's like really upset, and he comes back after one of the other girls, and that woman falls on the ground. Then two come running over like, oh my God, she's on the ground, and try to pick her up. It was just mayhem all over.
So
the
where was
place.
security? Do they not have security
They
in Disney
they
World?
do. They came. It was quite a while before security got there. And when they got there, they tried to defuse it, but then another girl. So it was two girls he's beating up. Then the second girl, he's like grabbing her hair, punching her in her face, you know, and dragging her. Then it looked like spectators came, other guys came to grab him off of them. And he was just walking around like really. I mean, this video, I'm sure you guys, it's all over Facebook, it's all over Instagram, it went viral, and they need to be really, you know, ashamed of it. So this is nothing that they should be proud of at all.
Right.
You know, now everyone is seeing this, especially for the male, because you're besides the fact that, you know, you're doing this in front of children, you're also beating up two females.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
So he obviously did this before. if he was that comfortable just hitting on a woman,
Right.
you know.
Right. Absolutely. Right.
It sounds like it to me.
Right.
Right. Wow.
Um. So I mean, no one here has seen it. I mean, to give you your input on it, but that was something that that popped up today. So I wanted to talk about it because first of all, abuse is a real problem in this world.
Right.
Just recently, a domestic violence. I'm assuming, but it was suicide. The cop that just killed himself. He killed his wife, and then he murdered himself. And you would think that you just don't know what people go through.
Right.
You just don't know what's on their mind.
Right.
You don't know, what's transpiring in their life. Even though you can see somebody look like they have it all together, I mean, they could be really going through, a really hard time.
Right.
So I know, in our culture, we speak to each other. We can be in the elevator. How y'all doing? How are you? I remember an old coworker of mine, Caucasian. She was like, "You know everybody." I said, "Girl, I don't know them people." You know what I'm saying? But if we're making eye contact, we speak.
Yeah.
It's free.
Exactly.
It costs nothing to say hello.
Exactly.
So, and that's just, and so just that, another quick story. So in the airport, I just also came back from taking my grandson to Disney World. Thank God, nothing transpired. So it was a wonderful, wonderful time. And one of the ladies that's trying to keep the line going when we're checking in, what are they called?
TSA workers.
TSA workers. Okay. She was mean.
Wow.
She we all the way in the back of the line coming around, and she yelling at you. She had an attitude, whatever. So it automatically gave me an attitude. I'm like, okay, here we go. Like, let's look at this. So when I went up there, I said, "Girl, you need a hug." I said, because you giving it to him this morning. So the way I said it, it made her laugh. She said, like, "Yes, girl, I need I said, "Give me a hug. You need a hug." And after that, it was like, the kids would come, "Hi, how you doing this morning?" Like, her whole demeanor changed. You really don't know when people step out the door what's going on.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And dealing with the public is not easy. So
It's
you
not.
figure she coming across all kinds of people.
But
in
it
that
was
airport.
early. It was the first flight probably out in the morning. Like, you already at it. You got a whole day ahead of you, So it wasn't like it was like, late in the day, she had a bad day. It was that whatever happened at home or
She brought it to work.
She brought it to work. She brought it to work, yeah. She was ready. She was
But
ready.
see, that's how I lost my hot sauce and the business card.
From the TSA, right? The TSA. And ladies, make sure you speak up, pretty loud in the mic so that people can hear your responses.
So also on Hood News, we want to say congratulations to the young teenager, Corey Coco Golf, who won in the Wimbledon meet over Venus Williams, I should say. Now, there's another controversial topic going on that's on social media as well. So a singer who signed to Beyonce's label, Halle Bailey, y'all may have heard of her. She's one of the twins who sings very beautifully. She's scheduled to play the next Little Mermaid. Yeah. She's an African-American young lady, and so she's receiving quite a bit of backlash from I'm going to call them racist, because I want to call a spade a spade. They are talking about, black girls don't even like to get their hair wet in water and saying different things like that. Oh, it's not realistic or whatever. First of all, the Little Mermaid is a fictional character.
Absolutely.
So at what point...
Who talks to a crab.
Correct. Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. So at what point do little black girls get to see people that look like them and say, wow, that could be me? For years we watched Snow White, we've watched Cinderella, so what's the big deal about the Little Mermaid?
And we all can be, live fairy tales.
Exactly,
as well,
exactly. It's so unfortunate that we always have to put race in everything. The Little Mermaid is a fish.
Right.
fish have no color.
Absolutely.
True that.
Absolutely.
So why do we always?
And actually, fish do have a color, and they all pretty colors.
Exactly.
And I don't see no
They're
white
beautiful.
fish.
They're different
No,
colors. They're rainbow
they're different
colors.
colors.
Yes.
Exactly.
You know
So
what I'm saying?
anybody can
Yes.
play. An Asian can play a fish.
Yes.
An African American can play a fish. A Caucasian can play a fish. An Indian and whoever can play a fish. Like it's just so sad the society that we live in today that we always have to define what someone is supposed to look like.
Right. Right. And that's sad. But I'm now I don't know. This is final, right? She's
going to play it
Right.
whether they like it or not.
Right.
Exactly.
Well,
So
what
I
makes
thank
it
Disney
better
for
for
not
her to
taking
play
it
is that
back.
she can actually sing and play the character at the same time. That's why they picked her.
Exactly.
Because she gives
very
all.
talented.
She gives it all.
Very
Right.
talented
You know?
young lady.
Right.
And what people need to know is people of our color, we can do it all.
Exactly.
You know, and it's a lot of things we have already accomplished and made and invented that we don't get credit for.
Right.
You know, that's why it's hitting. Stop hiding what we can do. We need to all just come together and love each other for who we
Absolutely.
are,
Absolutely.
and stop worried about what people look like.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
You know?
Absolutely.
Totally agree.
I kind of feel like that even African American people, if we don't constantly give attention to like things that are always thrown up against us, because sometimes I feel like it's only being thrown up at us so that they can have a way to get a reaction from us constantly to keep us on that same conversation, history after history after history after history. It will never die, but once we don't give it no attention or don't acknowledge it,
It goes
keep
away.
on moving forward in what we already know we can do. It's not that we need no recognition from nobody,
Right.
but
Exactly.
we should already know
Who
Our
we
worth.
are.
That's
who
right.
We are.
That's right.
and that's where we gotta just not give it no attention.
No energy.
Let them keep on talking to them,
Right.
Right.
and we just keep on moving.
Yeah, and I mean, I just think that a lot of these things, social media brings attention to, because a lot of this stuff
Everything. We
was
didn't
was
have it
going
years ago.
on, for a long time, and it's just now that social media is giving a voice to a lot of people. Like, what we really have known that she went for the part, unless it's in the news
Absolutely
or
not.
the paper, which wasn't really read by some of the community, or not really watching the news, and it just go by the wayside.
Right.
But social media
Runs
really
everything.
puts pressure everything, so
And they had nothing to find fault on.
Exactly.
Except for her hair. They didn't find no fault in her voice.
Nope.
They didn't find no
And her
fault in
acting
talent.
ability.
So they had to really sit, it's like just sit to the boardroom table and figure out what can we find wrong that
Right.
we can, create, get an uproar out of them.
right, absolutely.
So I want to we want to send prayers out to Stevie Wonder, who just announced that he's in need of a kidney transplant. So we're sending prayers up for you, Mr. Stevie Wonder.
Yes, and he, he said he's fine. Don't worry about him. He has his kidney, and I'm glad he has the confidence, but it's still God's time.
Exactly.
So,
Exactly.
you don't say I'm fine. Say, continue to pray for me.
Yes.
You never know.
You
Under
never
that knife,
know.
you never know what happened.
That's
It does
right.
not matter how much money you got and what you can pay for and the
Exactly.
best doctors that you have. If God says he's going to call you on that table, he's going to call you.
Won't he
So,
call you?
you
Won't he
know,
call you?
Yes, that's right. So, Stevie, Mr. Stevie, we are praying for you. But, ask for those prayers. I ask for them constantly.
Exactly.
You
Yep.
You don't know? That's right. That's right.
Oh, you better get ready.
Yeah. So singer Patti LaBelle has a street named after her in Philly.
Go ahead,
So
Patty.
it's called Patti LaBelle Way. It's down at 2nd and South Broad Street. So congratulations to you, Miss LaBelle.
Yeah,
You deserve it, Miss
Yeah,
LaBelle.
well deserved. She's
You
a
are
part
the
of the
best.
sound of Philadelphia.
Yeah.
My aunt's backed up a lot of her songs. Y'all may not know, but my aunts sing "Love and Need and Want You, Baby." That's them in the background.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
if only you knew. That's my aunts in the background.
Miss LaBelle has
Shout
come
out
a
to
long
my
way.
aunt.
For a long time, she was not recognized.
Right.
She was out there with a lot of the greats during that
She
time.
really was.
And she was not recognized, so she has come a long way. So I thank you, God, for allowing her to finally be recognized, because she came from here, but she had one of the strongest voices and the most wonderful songs out there. And I'm like, and I
Absolutely.
thank God for the greats that she is really shown these people that what she can do.
Right.
And she has
Exactly.
done it.
Yeah, she has
She
done
has
it. You
done
know,
it.
I mean,
She was
you know,
doing
with
it
her
all
patty
along.
pies and all
Now she
kinds
got
of
her
stuff.
pies.
She was, and she
Yeah.
was. She's actually
But
one
she
of
should
my
have been
favorite.
recognized a
Yeah.
long time ago.
Yeah,
You
you know, and she's one of my favorites. So when I, started watching American Idol and Fantasia,
Oh,
which
yeah.
reminds me
A
so
lot
much
of
of Patty,
Patty.
her whole demeanor and everything. When I say I voted for that girl, I was like,
Yeah,
darling, you know.
and when she
and
did Summertime.
yeah, girl, summertime it had me. Oh, I was
Yeah,
in
if you
tears.
could do that song, you could do
Anything.
Yeah,
What?
she killed Summertime. She killed it. But yes, Patty is a legend, and she is just, I love When You've Been Blessed. That's my
That's
song.
like heaven.
Oh, yeah.
All of her songs, I'm telling you.
Oh, we're gonna put you on the spot then.
You on radio station.
I do karaoke myself. I do karaoke.
I love it.
So Miley Cyrus, on a different note, she has now launched her own condom line called She Is Coming. Ooh. But it was a good marketing strategy. You know
Yes,
why?
it is.
Because that's the same title of her new album. She is coming.
Right.
So it's a good marketing strategy. So
Smart little girl.
smart,
Yeah,
I still
smart
call her little
move,
girl, but she's
Miley.
smart.
I know,
Yeah.
Hannah Montana.
Very successful, yes.
Andy Burris, you hear that?
Yeah, right? yeah,
Oh
right.
yeah, right. She is coming. You need some condoms, Candy. With
She
that
got her
bedroom
own.
candy.
Right. She got her own line.
So also congratulations to the U.S. women's soccer
Yeah,
team who
yeah.
wins the World
Give it up for the
Champion
females.
Cup.
Yes.
Yes, all you women,
Now it's time
independent.
for them to pay them. what
That's
they
right.
deserve.
They're
They-
fighting
that's
for
right.
equal
We
pay
still
because
fighting.
it's different.
And
Yup,
we're
it's
fighting for-
definitely
always fighting for
different.
something, aren't we?
Yeah, exactly.
Unfortunately.
And just like Snoop, thank you, Snoop. Snoop, my boy. Now, I love me some Snoop,
I know, I
right?
like Snoopy.
And he went on a rant about paying them their worth,
Oh, good.
and that the guys haven't won nothing. They ain't going to win nothing. And he just went on and on and on, talking about
Equal pay for equal
yeah,
work.
Exactly.
Equal pay for equal work.
Exactly. And it's sad that we continuously have to fight that battle. But we do just a good job as any man. And I grew up as a tomboy,
Me too.
and when I used to play with the guys. I used to be like, I can do that too. I can do it. I just felt like I had to prove
Challenge,
something.
the challenge.
Yeah, it was like I can do that, So, and I think I'm still that way. Like, I'm very. No, I'm not.
What were you going to say?
Never mind. I'll leave that one right there on the table. Y'all gonna have to guess what I was gonna say. But so congratulations to them because
Yes.
they truly deserve
Deserved
it.
it. You
Now
worked
is
hard.
now is the thing of it. Are they going to go to the White House?
They are.
You think so?
But they still need more money, and it's not fair that the men, even though they lost, they lose and they get paid more than the females.
Right.
That makes no sense. at all.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, so we are always gonna be fighting,
Yeah.
but that's okay because
Yeah.
we're up for it.
And we're in the fight. That's right.
We're
We're
up for it.
We're built for
Uh,
it.
Yeah.
Thank
Yeah.
you. We're built for it. We
Yeah.
are females, and I told a woman that the other day. I was in Wawa, and she started crying to me. She was like, she asked me. I'm also an Uber driver, so she asked me. She said, "How much is Uber?" And I told her. She said she started crying. She said, "My husband took both my cars." I said, "Wait a minute.
Wow.
Back up. Hold up. You will not start crying." I said, "Do you know how us as females are built? There's nothing that we can't do."
Absolutely.
I said, "He wants you to cry and feel weak,
Mhm.
but we ain't gonna do that."
That's right.
I said, "We're gonna show him that you can take as much as you want from me, but I'm only
I'm
gonna
be
get
all
stronger."
right. Mm-hmm.
You
And
know?
I should have. If we was going to end on that note, we would have played Beyonce. Who run the world? Girls.
Girls.
Who run the world? Girls. So on that note, since that's the end of our.
Just last one. A$AP Rocky, I just heard he's in a Swedish prison for assault. A$AP Rocky is a rapper. They said that he was defending himself. So, of course, oftentimes celebrities get a bad rap because sometimes there's people out there who taunt them to get you know, to evoke them to do something like the lady who spit in the man's face.
Right.
So it's kind of hard when you're human first to not be reactive, but when you're in that limelight, you kind of do have to take a step back and pause. So
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
You have
So
to do a
we're
lot
praying
when you're
for
in the
you too,
limelight.
ASAP,
yeah.
right.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
you have to
definitely.
refrain. You have to really refrain yourself.
Around in that fire.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So,
So that was our hood news.
yes, hood news. We had a lot of good hood news today. Yeah. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a break right now. We're going to get into some music, and when we get back, we're going to introduce you to some wonderful guests that we have here in the building. Rita the designer and Stacy the author. So we'll be right back, y'all.
Stay tuned.
All right. Welcome back, y'all. Welcome back to the Real Recognized Real Talk Radio Show. Yes. I'm tired.
I was about to say we about to show our age now. So thank y'all for tuning back. I'm kidding.
All right, so let's get
I play too much
into
sometimes.
why we here with these wonderful guests you have.
Yes, so first up is Rita Grant, who is a fashion designer from right here in West Philly, baby. She's a West Philly native with over 25 years working for the government. Now she is pursuing her passion for fashion with her own line of women's fashion called Pizzazz Chic and Sassy. Ooh, I like that. She began designing colorful scarves like the one she has on, as you can see. After experimenting with some colorful things, she actually decided to buy a sewing machine, her first sewing machine, because she was going through some things in her life, some challenging times in her life, and she just wanted to do something to get her mind off of it. So after wearing one of her scarves to a church meeting, 18 people ordered a scarf. So that is what happened and inspired her to launch her own line. So Rita likes to help make women look and feel confident about their looks. And she likes to incorporate bold colors and uniquely designed patterns, which you will see later. She has a beautiful model in the building, and she also, we also have a audio tech person, Naya, who also has on one of her pieces. She is also a beautiful lady, so we will be showcasing some of Rita's pieces here on the show. So you'll see her work. So her work can also be seen at several expos and fashion shows, and she also has been invited to audition for Project Runway. If you went to the comedy show that Franchella had, that was much success. I was wearing one of her pieces as well.
Fabulous.
Lovely. I love her clothes. She's also expected to be. She also has. I'm sorry. She will also have some of her fashionable items available in an upcoming boutique that's scheduled to set in Northern Liberty. So welcome, Rita.
Welcome, yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
Awesome.
So thank you for coming. So how do you want to start? Do you want to start with the models or with the questions, or the questions or the models?
We're going to start with the questions
first,
yes,
and then we'll get into the models.
And we're going to show the models.
Okay.
Can't wait.
So do you want to talk a little bit about what life experience helped you to begin experimenting with fashion?
Well, actually, it happened a few years ago. I was going through something actually. I was a little down, and it just seems like I wanted a new look. I wanted a look that no one has. And that look I couldn't find like in the stores at all. I knew what I was looking for because I was more or less geared to like the Jackie Onassis type of clothes, the 60s look, Diana Ross,
the divas,
Emotions, those moves back then. And I couldn't find those type of clothes. So one day I was just standing there just thinking, I said, how can I come up with that look? But I knew what I wanted, but I knew I couldn't find it. So I just thought of it in my head one day. I mean, I can go a little further than that, but I know we don't have a lot of time on how I actually got started with that, with that sewing. But I just laid material out now. I just buy it. I lay it out. I just, think about the way I want to cut it, how I want to attach the patterns. I always make the patterns so crooked. They'll never get away with the actual material. But I just got started just behind the fact that I needed a look that represents me, and I didn't want a look that everyone else had.
Right.
And my clothes is one of a kind, one of a kind.
Definitely.
That's another thing, that whatever you see is only one of them. And so I kept that in mind too for the ladies.
And you don't use patterns, you just go straight freehand.
I don't use no patterns. I tried a pattern one day, and 5 minutes later I just looked at it and I balled it up.
You can't put a creative mind in a box.
No,
you can't.
I couldn't do it. I couldn't. It was like I had to follow exactly what I seen, and that's not what I wanted.
Right.
I wanted to put my own attachment to it. I wanted to make my own look. I wanted people to be able to say, whoa, that's a Rita Grant right there. I wanted my stuff to be able to stand out, because if it's plain, people keep walking by you. But if you got something bold and colorful, it's going to catch your eye.
Absolutely.
And you have a designer name. I like, Rita Grant.
Exactly.
You have a designer name.
Yeah.
Now, and that's funny because I didn't like the name Rita Grant for a designer name.
Really?
Get out.
That's when I came up with
Pizzazz, chic, and sassy.
Because I had to figure out what represents me, what represents, what I want to see other ladies, in. So I looked up pizzazz, I looked up the word chic, I looked up the word sassy, and I love
Right, but that could be, look, I'm changing
By
her
Rita,
up.
by Rita Grant.
That's right.
Look, by Rita
By
Grant.
Rita Grant.
That's
In
exactly
the
what it
tag
is.
inside say Rita Grant, but your store name
Says
say
Chic
That's
and
what it says.
Sassy.
It's Ash Chic and Sassy by
By Rita Grant.
That's
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
I
Oh,
tried to keep them all.
yes.
Because I needed my name.
Your brand,
Rita
your
Grant
brand.
sounds like a Hollywood name.
Yes, it
It
does.
does.
Yeah.
And
It
it
does.
sounds like a high-end store. Oh, I'm shopping at Rita Grant, honey.
Yeah. So you were meant to be what you are today.
I think
Exactly.
I was.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
I bought it for a minute, I just thought it was, I'm just making clothes, it was no big deal. But then I started showing people, my friends, what I made, and I was so excited.
Right.
Had no idea that someone else was looking at it. It was Raw. You ever heard of Raw Underground?
Raw.
I have.
Raw, they bring up people who they want to be noticed, that they come to smaller people.
Right.
And I did a show there, matter of fact, they reached out to me, that was my first fashion show, that's on YouTube as well, it's called Raw. It's on YouTube as well, and they hit me up, I mixed them, plain with me was,
Right.
I didn't care.
Right.
But then they did it again, and this time she wrote me a long message about how
Who they
beautiful and
are.
she does it, and so on and so forth, she let me think, and I was like, wow, maybe I should just look into it, and so I did. And I went down there and I met with her, and they supplied me with the models and everything, and she wanted to
Wow.
showcase my clothes, and
Wonderful.
Well, I walked
think
through
I
the
might
mall.
have to-
I
might
walked
have
through
to-
the mall.
A fashion show. You think?
Oh, that's a good
I might give a
idea.
fashion show.
That's a good idea. I walked through the mall with your outfit on, and I've had so many compliments. Oh my God, your outfit, go ahead, girl. Like, I'm just walking, but because of how your material
Love it.
sways, it seemed like I was doing like this.
So wait,
but
so
I
we
wasn't.
have some models. We gotta start showing.
Yes, yes,
I
yes.
know they sitting by the screen saying, "Wait a minute, I got to see what these models have on." So let's yes.
swinging is the whole purpose, that
So-
catches people's
Ah,
eye.
It
That's the
does.
whole idea of my design, is to catch the eye.
Right.
And so that movement is what people are
So-
looking at.
So can you introduce?
So we're
one
gonna
of your
introduce one of your models
Oh,
that you
yes,
have
this is
here.
Ebony
with
Ebony?
Porter.
models? Okay.
Ebony Porter, say hi to the camera, Ebony, because we can see you.
Yes.
All
Hi,
right now.
Ebony.
Yes, that's Ebony.
So this piece that she's wearing, describe this for us.
That's I call that my golden flower.
Okay.
And you can wear that
Take a
so
spin
many-
around. Take a
so
spin
many ways.
around.
When you stand still, it looks like a long skirt,
Mhm.
but when you walk and open, when you walk, people can see that it's a pair of
Now
pants.
see how wavy it is.
Actually, it is.
Yes, here it is. There it is.
Yes,
There it is.
yes.
Swing it when you
fine.
turn, so, yes. And so then, also, the piece that she has on, the jacket,
This is what I
when
love.
she slides that jacket off, Ebony, and when she can make this here jacket become a scarf around the neck, she can make it into a bow tie, it can go back.
It could be a head wrap.
And how about this one? It can be a head wrap.
Mhm.
She also can take this piece and tie it around her bosom. Like, now just think about you on the beach. Just think about that black tight top. It's a bathing suit. And you walk in the beach, you don't want that dirty towel on no more. But you want to go somewhere elegant to eat while you're
Oh,
standing.
that's
Yes.
Now you
cute.
got your little fancy
Y'all see
beach
that?
wear on. It don't even have to be that real sheer piece or something. A lot of people have complex with some of the beach sheer stuff. You know,
Right.
you still don't want to wear it, so so you can do. And then how about this? And after you walk your beach and all that stuff, you can put it right back on, and put your heels on, and go out.
There's the head wrap. Work it. Work it.
Love it.
And see how the side go up, so it's like you got a little split going on the side.
It looks like a skirt from the
Yup.
side.
Yes.
Yup.
Yes, and
Love it.
I love it too.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Beautiful.
Awesome.
Thank you, model.
Actually,
Yes.
I made a mistake when I created this.
Did
I
you?
loved it. I was
No.
like, oh my God, look at my mistake.
So it was a
Yes.
mistake on purpose.
Yes. Beautiful. Thank you, Ebony.
Thank you,
Appreciate it. Thank
Ebony.
you.
So that's one of our pieces. So you also have an upcoming event where your line will be showcased in September. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
That's a mocha fashion show. It's called Mocha.
Muka?
And that basically stands for, it's a freedom and liberty. That's what that represents. The young lady name is Essence, who's giving this show. Matter of fact, Ebony is the one who pulled me into that fashion
Okay.
show. So we don't have a
So
venue
when
yet.
is, oh, okay, you're still in the
September
planning
28th.
phase, September
Yes,
20th.
we had 2 venues, but there's no parking. The parking is not good.
I
I'll put it
see.
like that. It's parking, but it's not a lot of parking. And the tickets are $35, and they have a VIP
So do you think you'll get into men's fashion at all, or you just want to stick to women right now?
When you say men's fashion, all of a
Men's
sudden,
fashion.
it's like it's
Creativity,
no
but
zeal in that yet.
Right.
that's why we need you.
It's no
That's
zeal
why
in
we
it.
need you.
But right now,
Make
she's
them
just
the
trying to
best,
make
make them
the
Yeah.
women feel
Empowered
good.
and-
Yes.
and
Now,
beautiful.
I gave one guy an outfit because he goes to my church. His name is Napper. I can't think of his first name. Deacon Napper. That's what I'm gonna say. And
We
he kept
need-
pressuring me, and he kept on saying, "Just what y'all saying. Well, you can do it. You can do it. You can do it. Where you gonna make that from?" And so he wanted a kente outfit.
Oh,
And
nice.
I loved it.
Okay.
When you think, because I ask, because when you look at men's fashion, these clothes some of these guys wear, it's like, it's so feminine to me.
Yeah, yeah.
So Ebony came back out and she has on
She
another
has another
outfit,
piece on, so
another
all right,
piece,
so we're gonna keep it moving.
Yes, I need to.
So come on and model what you have on there. I have something very similar. That's one of the pieces that it's one of the pieces that I have, but I have it as a pants suit. This is a jumper, so come on. So this is another piece
Yes.
from Chic, Chic and Sassy by Rita Grant.
Now, I call this piece, when I looked at the pattern, I couldn't remember the name. And when I saw this, automatically the name Soviet Union came to my mind.
Okay.
British.
Where
Because
you
to
going?
me, that just looks like Britain.
Right.
I'm a jumper
Right,
person,
so,
so that's cute.
And so that's what I mean, that piece, the Soviet Union piece. And she
So
can do the
that-
same thing with that, with
It's
your
now a
jacket.
jacket. Nice. I like it like
And it
that.
looks cute. You got a
Just
nice wide,
comfy.
flat,
It's
leather
comfy.
belt to it. It looks nice like that as well.
Nice, flowy,
And
comfortable
once again,
material.
all of these clothes are so easy to put in your suitcase, and that's
Right, yes.
Oh,
another
yeah.
thing, because a young lady stopped me and she wanted me to make her clothes
Her
because
head wrap.
she didn't want to iron no more. She
Right.
would drop in the suitcase and be ready to go because she traveled. She said like every 3 months.
Wow.
So, and that's what I keep.
That's very nice.
Listen to what the
Yes. Go ahead, Ebony. I see you. I see you. Yes, yes. Love it. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, right. That's it. That's it.
So
Now
we also have
have
Naya.
Naya. That's
Come
right,
on,
Naya.
Naya.
Come on,
Naya
Naya.
is our audio tech person. She's here. She controls our
yes.
video and our okay. Now you got to work it for the Real Recognize Real Talk radio show. Yes, come on,
Look at
Naya.
that. Look at that flow.
Now
Yes,
I this
love it.
one I love the
Beautiful
colors. Yeah,
I
I
do.
love the
This here
colors.
is, I just call that like a tulip spring.
She looks like a butterfly.
Oh.
Yeah, butterfly. There you go. New name,
I
butterfly.
love how you work with angles.
Yes, and can I go over there?
Yes,
Yes,
you
you can,
Yes.
because she has on an outfit too that she made. So
Oh,
let's
yeah.
see, let's
And
see.
This here piece, you can like put it in, put your hand in there.
Ah,
See? You can push it in.
how much is that piece?
And
Let
I
me
don't,
see.
do you have on a bodysuit? I have a little thing. Okay, watch this, ladies. Hold your arms up. Hold your arms.
See, I like clothes and shoes and stuff like that.
When you're a hot girl and you don't know what to do with that old hot shirt, bam, I got a little.
Turn around now, let me see. Oh, that's
Yes,
cute.
okay.
Work it.
Now
So,
she got a
so Rita sashay next to her, cause you made that outfit too that you have on,
and
correct?
I have on, I call this an orange blossom.
That's
I sort
pretty.
of call it orange blossom. I love the name orange blossom.
And that is not a
This here-
skirt as well, that it
no,
pulls
this is,
apart.
um,
Thank you,
I'm gonna call
Naya.
this,
You look lovely.
Beautiful.
It's a Rita
Because I
Grant.
know- yes,
It's a Rita
original,
Grant.
but I really didn't make this, but I loved it as I finished it off. And you can do the same thing with this hair tie, that bow tie, you can do the same thing.
You could wear it as a belt, tie it to the
Yes.
side.
You
You
can
could wear it as a jacket.
Be like, bam,
Wow.
Wow, that's really
Nice.
nice.
you know, you can drop it off the shoulder.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
So
Do
come,
the same thing with that. One more spot.
And you
come
know,
on and tell us how people can find your
Yes.
products and follow you. Look at that. It looked like she done changed her outfit.
Outfit.
Gave me that idea.
I know I did.
Yes.
I love
She
fashion.
don't change from going to church to the casino.
Exactly. Well, love to the
And the
club.
material looks like it's wrinkle free.
It is.
Yeah.
That's
You know, that's
what's
what's
so
good about it.
I listen to what the people want. When
Exactly.
they don't want to iron.
Right.
So it's, so
That
I
is
have to,
very
think
nice.
about that.
Changed
They don't
5
wanna
times
iron,
with the
you
same
wanna
outfit.
Just throw it on and go.
Right.
But you can look on my page. I have Facebook Pizzazz Chic and Sassy.
So spell it for the people.
Pizzazz,
'Cause
chic and sassy, yes.
spell it for the.
It's PAZZAZZ. Chic, CHIC, and AND. Sassy, SASSI.
Yeah, she
That's how I
spells it
get
a
it.
little different, so that's
Yes.
why I made
So that's important.
Yeah.
So yes, hit her up if you want any,
is amazing.
personal designs. Like she said, every piece is one of a kind. So you're not going to see, Felicia with your
And your
outfit,
outfit
on.
on, like-
Yes, it's one of a kind. And when I say this, the material is soft, it's comfortable. You definitely, and then that fashion show is September
The
the
28th.
28th. Where can they buy tickets at?
Well, we don't have,
They
can
still
pick up
waiting.
the models, so
Okay.
we're,
Yeah, they
still in the
process,
of,
okay.
Once I get that information, I
It
will
will be a-
definitely send it back to you guys.
Okay.
And I put it out like that.
Okay,
I can get it out.
Okay.
We don't have the tickets yet.
okay.
The tickets next week or the week after.
Or definitely go on your site, your website.
yeah,
It'll be
yeah,
on
Put
there.
it on
as
your,
well.
your Facebook
And
page.
I have a website as well.
Okay.
Pizzazz Chic and Sassy.
/.
Okay,
Okay,
awesome.
and, thank you
Thank-
very much.
Yes,
Thank
thank you. We
you.
appreciate.
I would say Nikki Collins, because she's the one who gave me this idea about this here jacket. She
Wow.
goes to my church.
Okay.
And, she did that. She tied it up on my arms one day and told me to wear something like this. And ever since then, that's where that creation came from. So,
Wow.
oh,
Shout out to Nikki.
Shout out to
Shout
Nikki.
out. And it's
Another
just like,
creative
but what I love, about Rita is she's listening to the people.
Exactly.
And she's taking that, but she has that creative mind to put it in a fashionable way.
Yeah.
Somebody has to talk to you because I got some ideas too. So thank you so much for
Thank
coming
you,
on the Real
thank
Recognized
you.
Road. We truly appreciate it. Your fashions
Best
is
of luck.
awesome. Your fashions is
Yes.
amazing. So we're going to take a break right now, and when we come back, we're going to talk to Stacey.
Yes, the author. Stay
Yes.
tuned, y'all.
Stay tuned, y'all.
kind of
Okay,
are
y'all.
back.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Yes, y'all got some fashionista models that was showing some awesome things by Rita Grant.
Yes.
And now we have
Stacey Florio, who is an author from Philadelphia. She has 3 home-based businesses as well. Her brand is called The Creative Author. She has written 5 published books that are available on Amazon. She began writing poetry for her high school newspaper and later turned that passion into writing books, one of which I have titled The Purposed Woman, Bounce Back on Purpose. That book is a collaborative work of several different authors as well. So welcome, Stacy.
welcome Stacy.
Hold
Thank
your book up.
you.
Well, hold my book up.
Your
Because
book up? Okay.
The
Can we
Purpose
sing?
Woman.
Wow. Awesome. Awesome.
Yes, this book was written by like 25 different authors, which are on the back, and we all wrote a chapter. And what it means is that all of us have been through domestic relations and how God helped us get out of it.
Amen. Amen.
So without God, you can't do nothing.
Yes.
So true.
So my
You
first
bounce back.
book is called Daily Dose of Direction for Women in Business. And that was written by 30 authors. 29 of the authors are entrepreneurs, and they're 6-figure entrepreneurs.
All right.
And I say 29 because I'm the 30th. And I've always owned home-based businesses. So the purpose of my me writing in this book was that I teach people when you have a home-based business, there's a lot of things that come with it. So I try to train them not to get so angry and how to handle things. So one of my pages state that let me tell you a story. I used to cry when I used to actually sell coffee. Who doesn't like coffee?
Mm-hmm.
And but the purpose of this coffee I was selling was called healthy coffee. So when I would tell people it's healthy coffee, people always pick things apart.
Mm-hmm.
You know, especially coffee drinkers.
Right.
So they're like, well, what kind of coffee is what makes
What
it healthy?
makes it
That's
healthy?
like oxymoron, you know. So they was like, no, I'll pass. So my godmother came up and said, well, Stacy, stop getting so upset. She said, SWSWSWN. And I'm looking at her like, okay, I'm telling you my problem, and you want to throw some initials at me? Okay, I don't know what that means. Okay, and how's that helping me? So she said, well, SWSWN means some will, some won't. So what? Ask who's next. Move on,
Hey,
Stacy.
hello. I like that.
And I was like, okay, dried
Some
up my
will,
tears,
some won't.
and been using that for since then, because she's right. Some will buy things from you, some won't. It's not for everybody.
Right.
So you may find your customer if you move on,
Exactly. Who's
but
next?
you can't find them if you just sitting there sulking,
Exactly.
which I was doing.
Right.
Wow.
Right.
That was some good advice.
That was
Was
some,
it?
Wow.
that was some
Wasn't it?
awesome
That was some
advice.
good advice.
Of course, and it was your mom, right?
My
Her
godmother.
godmother.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's their purpose.
So
So how did you get so many people to work together collaboratively on these
all right,
projects?
so our first collaborative book is written by a lady by the name of Melanie Bonita.
Mhm.
Melanie used to work with me with a home-based business like about 10, 15 years ago. And she wrote 3 books in 90 days.
Wow.
And that's
what
what I
would it be,
said.
5 pages each?
Right. A month apart. A month every month she wrote a book. So she said God came to her and told her what to write and how long she had to write it, and she got it done. So of
Wow,
course
that's
I'm
awesome.
curious minds want to know, and I'm jumped on Facebook. She was doing a workshop, and I just started writing. I'm just writing. I'm like, so when she finished, she had said the name of the book, what it was about. I had wrote my pages already.
Wow.
So the workshop was over, and she was like, I called her on the phone. I said, now what? My pages are written. What? Now what? And she started laughing. She was like, well, Stacy, did you find out how much it was? And I'm like, no, missed that part. Didn't hear nothing about no money. Maybe it's free. I don't know. So she said, well, it's not free. So she told me how much it was, and as far as I had it was in the 500 range. I had $5.
So now
So-
what is the it? What was $500?
it was everybody that was in the book paid like $500.
Okay, I see.
So I asked her, could I put the $5 on it?
Okay.
Put it down.
Okay.
She thought that was the funniest thing she ever heard in her life. She said, well, Stacy, you know, everything's due in like in 2 weeks. And I'm like, oh, Lord, I really want to do this. I've already raped the pages. You know, you got to use this.
Right.
So she's like, Stacy, have you ever heard of Uber and Lyft? And I'm like, yeah, I already signed up for that, but that ain't going to happen. She's like, why not? And I said, because I'm scared.
Oh.
So she said, well, I'm going to ask you something. She said, you still have a car, right? I'm like, yeah. She said, okay, I don't understand people that don't have a car, don't try to make extra money doing this. And she said, you should look into it. And then she said, well, do you believe in God? And I looked at her. I didn't look at her, but I'm looking like I'm looking at her.
Right.
And I'm like, why would you ask me that? I've been to church with you. I've known her for years. And I'm like, I've been to church with you. You know, of course I believe in God. She said, okay, well, I'm going to ask you another question. I said, okay. She said, well, how do you handle faith and fear at the same time? It was like she slapped me. And I was like, she did not just say that to me. And I was like, you're right. I'm going out right now. And I'm gonna do this. Well, I didn't know you could make the kind of money you can make with Lyft and Uber. I made $80 every day. Until I had $500 by Friday.
Okay. Yeah, I know that's
And
right.
I gave her my money.
Yeah. Amen to that. Yes. Love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
1
Awesome.
week. It was on a Monday. I gave the money for her Friday. I was the first to pay on that book.
Wow.
Wow.
And I was so happy. I was jumping for joy because I was an author. I was a
Right.
co-author, but I was
Right.
an author.
Right.
And my dream and my blessings have been answered. And it just proved to me there's nothing that you can't do through God.
Exactly.
You know,
Absolutely.
And
so
you gotta
all
be
her
willing to put
books
in the
are
work.
like daily doses of like scriptures. So I knew I was gonna be a part of these. So all her daily doses.
What is her
everywhere.
name?
Her name is Melanie Bonita.
Melanie
That
Bonita.
name sounds familiar.
Yeah.
Okay.
So she's on Facebook, and she said, "Well, now it's time for you to write your own book." And my book that I wrote on my own is called Sweet Matilda and Her Loving Ways. It's by my mother. And the reason why I wrote about my mother is because when you hear my stories about my mother, you know she missed her calling to being a comedian. But everything she said, she didn't think was funny. And she's like, you laughing at me? But you funny. Okay, because half the things you saying don't even make sense. You know? So I had to write about my mom because my mom is not like no other mom. I've been asking, I'm an Uber driver, so I'm asking people, you got a mom like this? They're like, no, never, no. Mm-mm. So my mom had some ways about her. She was superstitious. She believed in God, but superstitious. You ever heard that before?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So how you believe in God and you're a Christian, you superstitious too.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So this is how I was brought up. You know, was never supposed to be on planes and, you know, stuff like that. Cause I wanted to go to California. My mom was like, Stacy, let me explain something to you. Have you ever read the Bible from the beginning to the end? And I'm like, no. I'll tell you, no. And she said, well, I have. And ain't nowhere in the Bible God said in there to get on a plane.
Well, Mama,
She said, I know every page. I know every page. He didn't say it. I said, but Mom.
Right. Right.
The Bible wasn't written back then.
Right.
You know,
Right.
written-
Right. It
you
was
know,
no plane.
planes wasn't
She said, doesn't he know all?
Yeah.
She had an answer for everything.
Right.
Doesn't he know all? He knew the future. He knew the present. And he knew the past. And
Yeah,
I'm
she
sure he
was
would have put
funny.
it in that
Look,
book.
yeah, she was funny.
So she had an explanation and she had an answer for everything. And you just sitting there, you just got to laugh. You're like,
Right.
oh, okay.
Right.
And by her being my mother, I had to go along with everything she said.
Right.
This is stuff I had. This was good stuff.
Uh-huh.
I had to write about this. Oh my God! So
that's what
That must be a
that's in that
funny book.
it's
Right.
a funny book.
Is it? What's the name of it?
Sweet
Sweet
Matilda,
Matilda.
and her
Matilda.
loving ways. And I put loving like that because she was loving, but you'd be like, what kind of love is
Sweet
that?
Matilda and her love. It sounds like a play.
Yeah.
You need
What
somebody
kind of
to
love is
produce
that?
and direct a play off of that. That sounds good.
Yeah, I had. Well,
Francella?
Matilda was not her name.
Okay.
That was a
Right.
nickname
Fiction.
that my dad
Okay.
gave her.
Okay.
Her name was Maddie, and my family called her Martha May. But my father called her Matilda, or he'll say, well, how was your mother and my wife doing? And he was like, he would always bring up the things that she did. He was like, did I tell you the story about what your mom did? I'm like, yeah, you told me. He's like, I got to tell you again. because your mother funny. I said, I
Yeah.
know, I
Right.
know. I
God
already
rest
know.
her soul.
Yeah, God rest her soul.
Yes.
Can I share
Now
a story?
you
Certainly.
now, in this book, it was a very interesting book. What a lot of you have encountered, as well as bounced back from.
Right.
It was surprising to me to read about your story. I don't know if you want to get into it a little
Yeah.
bit. So the book kind of talks about life after divorce. It talks about the price you pay for disobedience. Talks about sex, fears, redemption, abuse, relationships. So tell us tell us a little bit about your experience that you
All
wrote
right.
about.
I had to be a part of this book because of what I went through in my marriage. I'm not going to tell you exactly what I
You gotta
wrote in
get
here
the
because I
book.
want y'all to read
You
it.
gotta get the book.
But sometimes, and this is how my story started. Sometimes I've always believed in God and always prayed, but when you pray to God, and I have to start off like this, you have to be specific what you pray for.
Absolutely.
Okay? And then I wasn't. That's how I got what I got. And I asked for a man. I ain't asked for a specific man,
Right. You can
I
find
just
a man
asked for a
anyway,
man.
but,
and that's what I got. I got a man. Now, one thing I did get, I got a man that was, he knew how to pay the bills on time. You know, he paid the bills, but he was from a different country. I don't know if that had anything to do with it. He was very young. I didn't know how old he was. He lied about his age.
Maturation and culture does impact
Right.
relationships.
And then what happened was, they could lie. Like this man lied about even his social security number was different, his age, everything was different. I didn't know the truth until his mother came into town from Africa. He was from Africa, and he was like 7 years younger than me.
Wow.
You know, so and I think that had a lot to do with it. He was very, very controlling, but he wasn't like that before we got married. All that was hidden, but it was like if a woman's looking for a man, you want a man to be one like good to you, buy everything, just giving, and he would open the door for me. And, you know, oh yeah, he was like. One day I was shopping. He wanted to go with me. One man goes shopping with a woman, but he went with me. He bought everything. I didn't have to spend a dime. We want that, you know. He was a hard worker. We want that. But when he got angry, I didn't see his anger until after we got married. And his anger, it turned out to be he likes to swing his fists or kick. And I couldn't believe it because my father has never hit me or cursed at me. So that's when, but you know what? I'm kind of glad I went through that because that gets you closer to God, more closer than you've ever been.
Right.
If you don't believe in him, you will believe in him then.
Right.
So, you know, I think he allowed me to go through a lot of this to want to get out is how bad do you want out? And it goes back to, I didn't read a lot of the Bible, but in the Bible in the beginning in Genesis when, I'm going to have to bring this up because when Moses was going to Pharaoh, telling him to let his people go, in the Bible he said he made Pharaoh say no. That was God putting that in his mouth. So in my relationship, I think he was making my husband do the things that he was doing for me to get closer and closer to God. Because as I said, I ain't never read the Bible before. But I knew God. I knew him and I knew him in my heart. And I kept begging him, what do I need to do to get out of this? How do you change? I didn't ask him to change my marriage. I asked him to get me out.
Right.
I need to leave this. Find me a way out. And he did. He did.
Amen to
So,
that.
amen. So how were you able to bounce back?
This man controlled my money. He controlled my clothes. A girlfriend of mine was getting married. I didn't have nothing to wear to her wedding. And to feel like that, I felt like I was chained as a slave without being a slave.
Right.
Nowhere to go, no money, can't go nowhere.
Right.
How you go to a wedding? You ain't have nothing to wear.
Right.
You know, so God put in my girlfriend's mouth. She was like, Stacey, you gotta find some money. She said, I know someplace you can go. And in her mouth, she said, if you leave him, he'll change. Because I didn't want to leave him. I loved him so much. I just wanted him to change.
Right.
And this is what she said. She said he's going to become a better person. He's going to be wanting you back, and it's going to change his attitude. He's going to be a better husband to you. That's all somebody needed to say to me. And I found the way out. My mother gave me money. I hid the money, and my girlfriend had an apartment near her, and I went and I did that. I didn't go to work for 2 days. And I went there, got the apartment, and he decided he was going to, they do that. They say, I want to change, let's work this out. And you always go back to them.
Right.
So this time I decided I'm not going back to him. Right. I'm going to just keep on my track.
Right.
And my girlfriend told me, she said, you got 3 hours. Because she had like different boyfriends that had different kind of trucks and cars and all that. So she said, look, I got a truck today.
Right.
Okay, this boyfriend got the truck.
Right.
She said, use the truck for 3 hours.
Right.
Because I don't know what I'm going to have tomorrow. I might have a Benz tomorrow or a BMW.
Right.
You can't put no furniture in a BMW.
Right.
She said, take the truck today.
Uh-huh.
Because you may not have another chance to get out of there.
Right.
I said, you're right, because I know how you roll with boyfriends.
Right.
You know. I was like, okay. So she said, if I could do it in 3 hours, you could do it in 3 hours. Oh my God, I told my sweat, I lost 10 pounds in that one night. Because then he changed his schedule. He was supposed to get off at 12 midnight. He said, oh, Stacy, they said I don't have to get off at 12. I want to get off at 9 o'clock. So I'll be home by 10.
Oh, late.
Thank God he told you. So
Yes.
you had to really hustle
Yes.
and get your stuff.
So everybody called me, what you doing, Stacy? I'm leaving. Call you later.
Right.
So I had the truck outside, and I don't know where the adrenaline came from, because I was going to leave him a TV. I had a TV. It was 27-inch. We ain't had the TVs we have now, these flat screens. We had them heavy.
With the back.
Yes.
Right.
With the back.
Right.
I lifted that 27-inch TV into that truck by myself up some steps.
Wow.
I know all my insides fell out to the floor, but I did it.
Right.
And when you have adrenaline like that,
Right.
you are so strong.
Yeah.
And I got us a TV, everything I left him one,
Right.
except I ain't leave him a plate, and I ain't leave him no fork, no spoon, no nothing. My mother always say, anytime you leave somebody, you're supposed to leave them that. At least leave him a fork or a spoon. I ain't leaving him that.
He had money.
He
He
can
had
eat
money.
out his hands.
He
Right.
get money. He
Yeah,
buy.
they got the dollar store. You got plastic stuff you can get. So yeah, so I left that night. Back then we had beepers. So he was beeping me. When he got home, I took the Christmas tree. That's how he knew I was born. There was no Christmas tree. I took the presents and everything. Yeah, so when you get in there, there's nothing in there. And then all the furniture going,
Right.
well, most of the furniture, the Christmas tree, all the dishes are going.
Right.
So going through what you've been through, what would you tell your younger self, or what would you tell young ladies who may be in similar situations and don't see their way out?
Right. And once before you answer that, I was reading an article today. Is a woman in Charlotte who reportedly was killed by her boyfriend days before she released her book about being an abusive relationship.
And then
Which is
also
sad.
you mentioned the young lady whose husband, it was a police officer who shot himself, and then
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, so
exactly.
some
So-
women don't get to make it out, and then some people
You're right.
they don't.
And I've heard stories too that they stayed in it because they said the man changed. I don't care how much you change, I'm not going back to that. But
So what
you
advice-
have to start loving yourself
Absolutely.
more than anything. And God showed me how to love me. Because he showed me if I can't love me, how can
Nobody
anyone
else
love
will.
me the way I want? I need to be loved.
Right.
He has to show you that.
That's right.
And you can tell me that all day long.
Right.
You know, until tomorrow, that's not going to make me understand it. But God has to put that into your heart.
Right.
This is something you have to pray on.
Right.
And that's what I did. That's what got me out of that.
Amen to that.
You know, my girlfriend, I don't even know how she stayed my girlfriend. Because I get frustrated
It's
with people
hard.
like that.
I
Because
do
she
too.
still
I'm
went
not
through
gonna
it.
lie.
But I think I prayed for somebody to be by my side.
Right.
You know, my mother, as tough as she was, she couldn't get me out of it. He threatened to kill her.
Wow.
You know, my father, he was like, you know, I'm old now. All the people I know that would get him, they all dead.
Right.
You know, and I'm like, I'm kind of by myself.
But
Right.
God
So,
gonna take
but
care of
I
him better
wasn't.
than anybody else.
Right.
You wasn't. Right.
I wasn't. When the day that I left, I didn't tell this part, but the day that I left, he had come out to my job and choked me in front of all my coworkers.
Wow.
And when they called the cops, he had split.
Mhm.
Because, you know, where I worked there, they wasn't playing that.
Right. Exactly.
Okay. But I had to be determined. Then my son was there. I didn't want my son neither to to
See
say
that
this is
example.
okay.
Right.
Exactly.
Because I'm growing up to be a man too, so I can beat up my girlfriend or my wife.
Right.
I didn't want him growing up in this, and this is another reason why I had to get out of this.
Right.
Okay, I didn't tell. It's not in here neither, but I didn't tell how he kicked me when I'm on the phone. When he's on the phone with his mother, he said I hung up the phone on his mother.
Wow.
He's on
Well,
a
you
cordless
did mention
phone.
something about a kick in the book.
That was the beginning.
Right,
He
right.
always was kicking me.
Oh, okay.
But he it was a cordless phone. He's in the kitchen,
Right.
and he said I hung up on his mother.
Wow.
And I'm like, well, you on a cordless phone.
Right.
How I hang up on your mother? So he's gonna show me what I did to hang up on his mother. So he said, I pulled it out the wall.
Wow.
But
And
Really?
see,
you know.
a lot of times, individually, we don't deal with ourselves. And so because we don't deal with the issues that we have within ourselves, we kind of take out whatever's going on in us on somebody else. And it's so unfair. You know, if he was to deal with, and men like him were to deal with themselves and whatever causes them to be so angry and so vicious and so mean, deal with that, you
Yeah.
know, so that you can be not only a better person for you, but for those around you, you know,
Yeah.
so that you know what love is and you know how to love someone the right
Well,
way.
he doesn't know, and to this day he doesn't know. He didn't have a drinking problem. He didn't have a drug problem, because a lot of men do have these problems. That's why
Right.
he didn't. He just had mental anger.
Anger. That's
Yeah.
what I mean. So that's
You
something
know?
that he has to deal
Well,
with.
I don't know
himself.
if it's a stereotype, but you know, men from Africa tend to be controlling,
aggressive and controlling.
very aggressive, very controlling.
Mhm.
So that right there, and for him not to even show a bit of that in the very beginning, and it probably was signs, but
Sometimes
you were
there
blind
are.
to it
Sometimes
because
there
you wanted a man.
And he was
Yeah.
So you
showering
were
you.
right.
He was showering
Yeah,
you
all
with
the
other
good
things.
stuff.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
You know, to
And
blindside
it was
you.
signs.
Yeah.
It was signs.
Yeah.
Like I
They
saw
say
the.
it always. There's always. Oh, I know we're about to.
Wrap it up.
Yeah, we're about to wrap it up. So, one thing I wanted to talk about a little bit is the cruise you have coming up. So, if you want to talk about that, and then tell people how they can buy
Yes.
your book and follow you.
I'm in a company called Surge 365. It's a home-based business, and when you join this company, we have the lowest prices than public prices. Now we're going on a trip. It's an author's cruise that we can set up any kind of cruise or any kind of trip that we want to. So because we're authors, it's an author's cruise coming up in November called Sailing the Right Way. Like right is spelled with a
Right.
W.
Right.
And they're going to have speakers on there. They're going to teach us how to sell our books in bulk,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Right.
And it's a 5-day cruise. And right now
Where you
the
cruising
price
to?
is $285.
That's
It
not
went
bad.
down. It was $385.
Where are you cruising to?
We're going to Bahamas now.
Okay.
We were going to Cuba, but because of Trump, he stopped that.
Right.
And so it's 5 days, and starting out in Miami. And
How can people find out more about it and purchase tickets?
they can hit me up on Facebook, or my email is stayflow. That's spelled STAYFLO33 @gmail.com. Stayflow stands for Stacy Florio. You know, so it's cut down. And I'm also on Instagram. I'm Stay Flowing. Okay. And
They can purchase your books
and-
on Amazon.
and on Amazon, Bounce Back on Purpose. You can just pull up Bounce Back on Purpose. You will see it. And it's in Bounce Back on Purpose became a #1 bestseller on Amazon.
Wow.
Awesome.
As soon as it
Wonderful.
came out.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yes, congrats.
And so did our first book, which is Daily Dose of Direction for Women in Business, 2 weeks after it came out. We are now doing a book, and we're in the middle of it, for women. We just mentioned it earlier, women committing suicide.
Mm.
So it's called Daily Dose of Declaration.
Right.
So we're trying to, hopefully, if we could just save one life,
Right.
we did our purpose.
That's right.
Absolutely.
And that's
No.
right.
Well, I'm glad all of you ladies went through what you went through, and you bounced back.
We're bouncing
with
back.
purpose.
Yeah, we bounced back.
That's right.
Exactly.
That's right.
Yes.
You are to be commended for
But
bouncing back
this-
and to share your story.
Even this can help somebody.
Yes,
you know?
absolutely.
You know,
Absolutely.
save a life.
We
This
all
was-
have a story.
Bounce
Right.
back
We all
on
have a
purpose.
story.
I
That's
love
the
it.
truth.
So we want to thank you,
thank you,
ladies, so
ladies,
much
so
for
much.
being on the Real Recognized Real show, and we appreciate you, and we wish you all the success
Yes.
that
you.
life has to offer you. And this is your second home, so when you continuously have new designs and new books, and you guys are
Come on,
constantly
share.
climbing that successful ladder. Don't forget the little people, because I know that you guys are going to be on another platform.
Yeah.
So this will always be your home to promote yourself. All right.
So thank you,
Thank
ladies.
you.
So
Thank you,
I
ladies.
do have a few closing remarks. I want to send prayers out to Tracy. Tracy is one of the managers here on the radio station.
Yes,
so
prayers
we
out to Tracy.
sending prayers out to Tracy. We also have advertising sponsorship opportunities as well as spend packages. So you can email rrrtalkradio@yahoo.com if you're interested. July 20th, come out to the All-Star competition at Voltage Lounge. Myself, Mr. Cheeks, and Cuban Link, we talked about that. Tickets at the door, $20. You can find out details on our Facebook page. Follow us on Facebook, Real Recognized Real Talk Radio. So it's RRR Talk Radio on Facebook as well as Instagram. I also want y'all to vote for me. So I have been nominated as the best supporting actress in a web series called The Church Folk Secrets. So on churchstarsnetwork.com/vote, please vote for myself, Lynette Clement, so that I can.
And you can vote every day.
You can vote every day, several times a day, up until July the 31st. So it's churchstarsnetwork.com/vote. So myself, the director, and a few of my cast members for Love Happens and Church Folk Secrets. So you can watch both of them on Amazon Prime, Love Happens as well as Church Folk Secrets. So please vote, 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 vote.
Vote.
Vote, please. Your every vote counts. And also, again, follow us on Facebook and Instagram, RRR Talk Radio, RRR Talk Radio. We're also looking for another intern.
Yes, we are.
We are looking for another intern. So if you have experience or you're inexperienced, but you just want some experience in the entertainment industry, please email your resume to rrrtalkradio@yahoo.com. Please, if you know someone, we are looking for an intern.
Yes, to
as
be
well.
beside
Yes, to
the wonderful intern that we have now.
Yes,
Naya.
Naya. Thank you, thank you. So we just another one. Lastly, we are still looking for those males out there who are interested in dating a female so we can have our single show. We have a female who is in Maryland who wants to come onto the show to date, possibly
Mr.
meet
Right.
Mr. Right.
That's right.
So we want to set that up for her. So we're probably looking for what, three single, nice guys,
men.
okay? Single, nice
That's
guys. There's a
right.
lady in Maryland. If
Mature.
you're in Maryland or the Maryland area, or you don't mind long distance relationships, who knows?
Who knows?
You may meet your soulmate. So again, if you're interested, the email is rrrtalkradio@yahoo.com. Thank y'all for tuning in.
Thank y'all for tuning in, and thank you. Isn't she the best? Yo, she be on point. Yo, she be on point. I have never been able just to sit back and chill with anything I do, in this entertainment. But I got Naya and I got Lynette. I be just chilling. Y'all see me, I be like this, okay? But thank you guys for tuning in, and don't forget to continuously support us, share our links, like us on Facebook and Instagram. And until we meet again, deuces.
It's Philly Hot Radio.
That is the best. Oh my